Hello, Warriors and Enthusiasts. My name is Swift Ranger, and welcome back to Let's Play Clan Generator. When we last left off, we created our clan, we hopped right into the game, and we covered each of the dens to be interact with in expanded mode, and what those dens do. Now we're going to explore a little more of the areas. And one thing that I forgot to do last episode that I'm going to do right now is we're going to go to settings. Now, of course, these settings in game vary from relationship settings to role settings, and then you'll just have your clan stats, which isn't a lot of stuff, as you can see. Like, it'll tell you how many Star Clan cats you have, how many cats are living, how many cats do you that have unknown residents. Like, usually these are loners who die and are kind of just wandering. How many medicine cats you have, how many medicine cat apprentices you have, how many warriors you have, how many warrior apprentices you have, kittens and newborns as well, and faded cats. So that's clan stats. I wanted to get that out of the way because it doesn't have anything. Now, you can. I always turn this one on. This will automatically save it every 5 moons, just in case I keep forgetting to save, because I do that sometimes. Show moons and seasons widget. I'm gonna turn that on, go back, and see what exactly it does. Okay, up here it'll show you it's been 0 moons and it's new leaf. So this can be helpful in keeping track of the time of year, how many moons your clan's been around, stuff like that. So it's an okay setting to have on. Now, of course, there's mass extinction events, and this can like wipe your clan out. And like, I don't. I guess if we're doing a hardcore playthrough, I do that, but that's not kind of the playthrough I'm looking to do here. So we're gonna keep that off. Show exact experience, and nutrition. Don't really need that. Allow medicine cats to be randomly selected on patrol. I'm going to turn that off because I want to do that. Allow dead cats to fade away. After 202 moons, dead cats will be unloaded and saved separately. No family relations will be lost. Okay. Do we want to keep that on? Click off faded cats. Info will be saved in plain text. Interesting. Okay. I don't really know what that does. I haven't gotten that far. I haven't gotten 202 moons into any game. Now we have relationship status. These are relation settings. If same-sex birth is disabled, this option should greatly increase the chance of same-sex couples adopting. Interesting. Allow cats to have kids with an unknown second parent. Cat would be listed as the only biological parent. Now this could be interesting. This is very interesting. Because this can allow you to have kids. It's going to allow you to have kids without having to have mates. And in this game, it is really hard to get cats to get together. Like, that's the one thing I don't like about ClanGen is, like, it takes forever for cats to generate enough, like, romantic feelings to become mates. So that is one problem I have with the game. So I'm going to turn this on just for the interest of longevity, because I don't want my clan to die out because we can't get any kids because the cats won't freaking fall in love with each other. This will allow mated and unmated cats to have kids with other cats they are not mated with. This is a clue, but is not limited to affairs and cheating. I don't really feel like we need to turn that on, actually. Allow all cats to get pregnant despite their gender, and all couples to birth kittens despite same-sex status. Now, of course, we can do adoption if you don't want to do that. That way, these cats can bring in cats. We will keep the same-sex pregnancy off for now. Once again, this is all dependent on if I decide to change it. This right here allows cats with the same grandparents but different parents to become mates. So allows first cousins. I'm going to turn this on too. And the reason I'm going to do it is A, most of the time cats don't care. Also, just for the interest of longevity and for the interest of the playthrough, I feel like this needs to be on. So we can have, like, cats mating up more than usual. We have role settings, and I love to do this. So the Warrior Code rules will be taken into account. Usually, it's whoever has the highest experience in the clan or highest age and experience will become the deputy. I don't know if age has anything to do with it. Once again, I'm gonna have to. I haven't been paying much attention to this stuff when I'm not recording and playing this game because I don't really need to. But yeah, we're gonna turn that on. I always love that. You can also disable experience-based apprentice graduation, which means every apprentice will graduate at 12 moons. I tend to not use this a lot because I make sure that my apprentices are getting trained and gaining experience. So there is that. And then also cats will never retire due to permanent conditions. So essentially, if they have permit, it'll allow the cat to choose whether they want to retire. And I'm going to flick that on because I feel like that makes it feel more alive and gives more autonomy to the clan. And allow elders and warriors and elders to choose to become mediators. I'm going to turn this on as well. So there we go. That is our settings for this game. Now we're going to go to the cat list. Now this used to be a pretty bothersome thing to navigate, but now there's ways to do it. One of the new things they added is you can favorite a cat. For instance, if you click here, you can click the star next to the cat's name, and they will be favorited. And you can just click that, and it'll show you your favorite cats. Now, there's also name search. So if you're looking for a specific cat, you just type in their name, and it'll give it to you. This is for when you get just lists of cats. That's when that becomes more useful. Right now, we don't really need it. Then there's the View Dead Cats, and this will take you to the Star Clan screen. So of course we have Leaf Star, and they kind of just pop up, and they come up with certain traits. They don't really have much to offer. We have View Living. We can go to Living and View Dead. You can also choose the group to view here. So, for instance, we have Unknown Residents. This is for loners you meet who die outside, and you just don't know where their spirits are residing. And then, of course, you have your Dark Forest cats. So, if you have evil cats, you can send them here. But we'll go right back to Star Clan. You can sort by rank, age greater, age younger, ID, experience, how much experience they have, death. I don't know what that does. I've never used that before. There's some stuff I've never used. I'm going over what I know. And then in here, you can also choose a group to give you your clan and cats who are wandering outside the clan. Now let's go right into. So here are the cat profiles, I like to call them. Yeah, this can change how you do them and save the image and stuff like that. Now we're gonna start from right here. This is their history. This will tell you how they may have come to the clan. So right now, Nibblestar is a founding member, which means they're the ones who got together and do the clan. We also have this neat little flavor text that appears under the name. And they updated this, so now this kind of varies between their personality. So what their personality dictates what they're going to be thinking about every given moon. So for instance, Nibblestar here has been letting her deputy call the shots recently and is proud of her initiative. And of course, the other deputy has good insight. So that's good that they're getting along. Also, it will tell you if... It'll also tell you if... Right down here, who their mentor was, what influence that mentor had on the other cat. So mentors can influence... Sorry, guys. A cat's personality when they, graduate. You can see how they affected, and mostly it'll change their, skills and stuff like that. And of course, since they're leaders, they have 9 lives. And you can see how old they are, their gender, what their eyes, their pelt is, what their rank is. Once again, they're things. And then they have backstory, like clan founder. And then what their nutrition is, if they're getting stuff together. Now here is cat notes. Essentially, this lets you put your notes about your cats for storytelling purposes. I have never been one that's very good at this. Good at doing stuff like this. I will try in this series. I'll try to get more used to it. Now let's check these little drop-down menus. So relations. So this allows you to see various things. You can see their family tree, like who their mate was, who their kits are, and what that kit, their kits having kits and stuff like that. Also, we go to adoptive parents right here, so you can choose people who like adopted them and stuff like that. So you can have that if you want for storytelling purposes. Also, this is our relationship screen, which we will show, and it'll show you can once a cat dies, they'll stop appearing on this screen, but you can click show dead and it'll show the relationships with that dead cat, and you can show cats that you have no relations with as well. So the way relationships work in this game, as you can write here, you have romantic like. This decides how romantically they think of each other, and if it gets high enough, eventually they become mates, but naturally. There's plutonic like, which is how friendly they are with one another, of course. There's dislike, so if you could start generating dislike, and if like the dislike gets high, you become enemies, and it's really interesting. You also have respect. You have the how comfortable they are around the cats, how jealous they are of the other cats, and how much they trust the other cats. So that's pretty much how relationships work in this game. And you can also switch the focus to them, so you can then view their relationships, and then switch back. It's really cool. You can also view their profile from the screen as well. So there is that. There's also the choose mate screen. So of course, it shows you here you can basically choose mates essentially. And if it's taking too long to get these two together, the cats to get together, you can do it automatically and stuff like that for storytelling purposes. Of course, it shows compatibilities as well. It'll also tell you if they can have biological kittens or not. So yeah, that's how this works. I tend to not use this. I like to let things run naturally. But you can, get cats together you think would be good together from this menu. Now we also have the roles menu. Now down here you have change mentor, but this is only available for apprentices. But you can go to manage roles here. So you can switch these cats around. You can promote a cat to leader, you can promote them to a deputy, you can force them to retire. Oh shoot. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so don't click on it if you don't want to do it. It's going to do it automatically. So you can also switch them to a warrior. You can take them out of their roles and stuff like that. So basically, you can choose what roles they want to have. Now, of course, leaders can't be mediators because they're kind of naturally already are. I don't even think we need to go to this cat. But that's how the roles work. Now we go to personal. Now here you can change a cat's name. You can change them to a trans male. You can specify their gender right here. You can say, oh, they're gonna use they, them, their pronouns and stuff like that, and you can like use automatically. Now none of this stuff affects gameplay. It's just for like your interests. You also have cat toggles, which means you can prevent them from fading, which means they'll never fade away once they die. You can prevent kids. You get this kid from adopting or having kittens, and usually I like to do this after they have one litter. I don't want them to have like 1,600 cats that are all related to each other because then they won't mate and we won't get any new kids. You can also prevent them from ever retire, and you can limit romantic actions. So this way they can't automatically take up, break up, or have romantic interactions with non-mates. So there's that. So that's a new thing they added, which is nice. Then you have your dangerous category, which means you can either exile a cat, kick them out of the clan, or you can kill that cat. And that'll be interesting. So this right here is kind of how the profile screens works. Also, you can check out the leader ceremony. This used to be way, way more long, but they kind of shortened it down. Yeah, that used to go through like every single cat would come up and give you your stuff. So there is that. And that's kind of the specialty with leaders. Okay. So next thing we're gonna go through is patrols. Patrols. Wait, hold on. I want to check something real quick. Ron Paul, who is your mentor? Your mentor is Sky Spot. Is Spycott a good teacher? No. I think I want you with Weed Spring. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and change the mentor to Weed Spring. Yeah, I want their mentor to be Weed Spring because she's the good teacher, so good to have her doing that. Anyway, sorry I got distracted. Now we have patrols. So this is an interesting one. There's many different things. Right here, it'll tell you how much current prey you have and how much prey you need to feed your entire clan. And this is why I always change the focus to hunting early on, so we can get this really high, so we can just like make sure we have enough to feed. And of course, you could add cats on, and that's going to increase the amount of prey you're going to need each moon to each season to do with your cats. So there is that. So there are 4 different types of patrols. There's training patrols. There's a hunting patrol, which will get you prey. There is border patrol, and you have herb gathering patrol. But this can only be done by, well, your medicine cat. So for instance, like I want to send Robin Paw and Weed Spring out on a training patrol. And here you have skills and traits as well. This is going to tell you what skills your cat has and what your current traits are. So we have a gloomy cat and a nervous cat together. We'll see how this goes. But she has teaching, which is good for a training patrol. Of course, then there's hunting patrols and border patrols and all that fun stuff. You can also remove all class by clicking this button right here. And once you got your patrol, you can click go on patrol. This is really cool. There's been a lot of new art added as well for this one. And it depends on what patrol you're doing. So, here you can see who your patrol leader is. Your patrol members are. So their skills and their traits as well can be viewed on this screen. And right here it has like a little description of what goes on. So here, it is almost dawn when the deputy rouses Robinpaw for her assessment. She is meant to find Weed Spring posing as an enemy warrior somewhere on the territory and handle the situation. Weed Spring could be anywhere, and then you can either choose whether to proceed or to not proceed. The reason they do this is sometimes you'll get events where it's like, oh, like maybe we shouldn't go out on this patrol. And if you hit proceed, they have a chance to weather it, gain a lot of experience, or you lose a cat, or they get injured. But here it's just like, it's whatever, we'll proceed with it. Robin paws nervous upon heading out. However, she picks up Weed Spring's scent within a few hours and follows the trail. When she finds Weed Spring, the warrior is drinking from a stream. Yowling, Robin Paw leaps at Weed Spring and sweeps them off their feet into the shallow water. Weed Spring is winded and congratulates Robin Paw after they stand up. So great. This was a successful patrol, and now Robin Paw here will gain some experience from that, which is what training patrols are for. Now, of course, usually you want border patrols to be pretty big. Border patrols need to be really large. So here we have our stuff. So he can spend Wing Splint, our medicine cat. However, he can't participate in these patrols. You can only go on herb gathering patrols. And this allows you to gather excess herbs. Now, each moon cycle, your cat will have a chance to automatically find herbs and add them to the store. But here's just a way to get a little extra herbs. Now, usually, you can send a warrior escort on these herb gatherings to help, but it's not really required. So, we're just going to have Wingsplit go on patrol by himself. The strengthening sun in the sky will bring dandelion plants out, always the first to take advantage of new leaf. Those ones perhaps, there will also be other herbs ready to be collected, such as the wild garlic. Wispglint heads out to look for them. Interesting name. So let us proceed. It's a successful gathering mission, and Winsplint strides back to camp with a great haul of entire dandelion plants and bonus wild garlic too. Later, he'll sort the leaves and roots to be stored separately. The leaves remain fresh for a shorter time. So wild garlic and dandelion were gathered during this patrol. Hooray. Now, of course, we want to look for each. Now, we have a lot of cats who are really good at fighting. We don't really have anyone who's super good at hunting, really. So let's send Freezeheart and Nimblestar out on a hunting patrol. On a hunting patrol. The patrol comes across a large rat. The patrol catches the rat, more fresh kill, and we got a medium amount of prey brought back to the camp. And of course, here you can like add 3 cats or add 6 cats. So we're gonna add the rest of our cats on there. We'll look at their skills and traits: observing, fighting, swimming, and advising. So these are good for a border patrol. Here's how finds an abandoned kid whose parents are nowhere to be found. Why not? Now, sometimes you'll have stuff like this, and this means you're going to gain a new cat in the clan. And right now, since we don't have a lot of kits, what's wrong with another kit in our clan? Pite's not rushes the kit back to camp. The kit is nursed back to health and promised a place in the clan. Whispering Kit has joined us. So if we go here, we now have 3 kits. Whispering Kit here. She is quiet and quick-witted. Backstory: abandoned, which means you can go down here, go to her top story. Whispering was found by the clan as a kid and has been living with them ever since. He joined the clan Moon at 0 age 5, and it's good to have another male in here as well. We never checked out Shade Kit. We haven't really checked out all of our cats, but the ones that we chose, we don't really need to check out. We don't really need to check it out yet. Was a clan founder, stuffed. He is polite and quick to make peace. So Shade Kit, he could make a really good mediator eventually. With Cinder Kit here, oddly observant, but she's a bully. And this is not a good trait. Now, you could put her with a cat who's not a bully, and hopefully they can influence her out of being a bully. But she is oddly observant, which could make her really dangerous if she becomes bloodthirsty. So each cat has a certain amount of experience, so the highest level experience you can get is a master experience. Now, of course, you have proficient. Prepared is below proficient. Yeah, for instance, she's an expert, and then I think there's master eventually. Former apprentice. Sorry I took your apprentice away, but Weedspring's just a good teacher, and I want her to, like, do that, you know? She's also a formidable fighter, so she can also go on border patrols. But, so we have a new cat, and that's how patrols work. So, of course, eventually, all the cats are patrolled. There's really nothing we can do yet. It's only the first move. So let's go ahead and finally, we're at the end of what, part 2? And we're finally going to just kind of advance. And the last thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about... Oh yeah, also, you can quickly go to any of the dens. I don't think I picked anything in here yet. Oh yeah, I did. Good, okay. So you can also quick go to dens from this screen as well. So without further ado... Oh, sorry, one more thing. We also have allegiances here. And this gives you kind of like a book summary of who the cats are in a clan, who their apprentices are. It's a good way where they are, whether they're queens, kits, anything else. So let's go ahead. Let's time skip one moon finally, now that we got all this out of the way. So this is the all events screen, and this is going to show you every bit of events that happen in all these other tabs right here. So you can just look through them. So with our heightened focus of the clan, 14 additional pieces of prey were gathered. So that's where that focus comes into play. So now we're gathering extra prey, which is good early on, because we want a lot of food to start off with. And of course, also, since we chose to try to befriend Dove Clan, when Dove Clan arrives at the gathering, Nimblestar shifts over to make plenty of room for the leader on the leader's perch. Dove Clan leader jumps up and dips their head to Nimblestar, and now our relationships have improved. Now, there are 3 sections you could have. I think it's enemy, ally, and neutral are the 3 ways other clans can feel about you. Also, randomly each event, there's something called accessories. And sometimes your cats can find accessories and they can choose to wear them, and it just looks cool. So for instance, Shade Kit picked up some flowers around the camp to bring back to the Medicine Den. And now we have, eager to learn the best ways to help his clan thrive, Whispering Paw excitedly touches noses with Freezeheart. Now, of course, Wheat Spit can't mentor every single cat that's here. But so we are gonna have to like level things out. But I will prioritize to give them mentors that are good teachers because it's just better and they're gonna graduate quicker. So now you have ceremonies, you have births and deaths. So this can show if cats are born, what litters they think they're gonna have. If cats die or get injured, it'll be under births and deaths. You also have relationships. Now this is you can only view this type of information through this screen. And basically there'll be a various level of interaction. Some will have positive effects, some will have negative effects, and the effects can vary. So you can have a low negative effect, you can have a high positive negative effect. And basically, if you have a negative effect, those cats are going to start getting jealous of each other, they're going to start disliking each other. Stuff like that is going to happen with instances like that. We're not going to read through all these because it takes so long, especially when you have lots of cats. But basically, here you can see like various what things use. So I'm going to scroll down slowly, and you guys can read them if you want. Also, actually, there is something I forgot. So, some things are going to get plutonic relationships. Some things are going to increase a cat's trust. They're going to increase a cat's respect for the other cat. How much they feel, if they feel safe. A high level of comfort means I feel super secure around this cat. I feel the most safe around this cat. Stuff like that. So sometimes events pop up that are a little romantic. And those can, if it has a high positive effect romantically, those cats can start generating romantic feelings towards each other and eventually become mates. For instance, like Weedspring reassures Whispering Kid about something that was bothering him. That's going to have a low positive effect. So we can also click right to where these cats are, and then we can go to relationships to see how that, kind of worked out. And so that's going to increase the platonic like of those characters. So for instance, like if we check out Weedspring and Whispering Kid, who's now Whispering Paw, they are starting to gain platonic like, comfort, and trust. So yeah, things can variously. Now that's low positive effect, which means it's not going to affect two things too much. But let's say right here, we see that Karen trait stole one of their ideas. That's going to create a medium negative effect. So essentially, she is going to start developing dislike or jealousy for that cat. So for instance, with Pipit Snout right here, she now has, this is medium effect. Their dislike of each other very quickly. Whispering Glint notices Whispering Kit doing something generous, which is going to help that. A high positive effect. We have our first high positive effect. So Robin Paw admits a mistake to Wingsplint and asks for forgiveness. So Robin Paw is going to have a better relationship with Whispering Glint. So now they're not getting platonic like, but they're getting respect and he's getting comfort and trust. So you trust Whispering Glint to tell him this stuff. Is there a high negative effect? Freezeheart notices that Ronpaw is never congratulated for her efforts. So that's good. Right there. Do we have a high negative effect? And also sometimes we get neutral effects, which is no effect at all. So we got a lot more positive than we got negative. Also health. Correction. This is where it's going to show you injuries and sicknesses. Here it's just going to tell you cats are born and who die. Then we have miscellaneous, like finding accessories and, our focuses. So Kate picked up some flowers. So, out somewhere. Huh. Can we not choose an accessory? Interesting. Interesting. I don't really know what that does. That's interesting. Now we started new, and this stuff is going to update. It's going to tell you each moon what these cats are feeling. Like, as reason to give a wonderful speech to Pebbleclans, boosting morale because she is, she's the deputy, which is good. And Paw here is quick to help and a picky nest builder. Never really looked at this stuff. Her mentor is Weedspring. Then we have Whispering Paw, whose mentor is Freezeheart. So usually there's not much to do. We do want to go to the leader's den, and we're going to want to continue to befriend Dove Clan. We haven't interacted with any outsiders that we haven't taken in, so that's not going to matter. So let's check our clearing here. A log, here's what the log is going to tell you. So 23 pieces of prey were consumed. They caught 22 pieces, but 14 additional. And 14 pieces were caught on patrol. So we are starting to build up our prey stock. But we want to keep that going up constantly. Now, this is going to allow me to show you this real quick before we finish off. Where is it? Okay, yes. It's not telling us when we're going to be able to change it next. But, yeah, we are at time for this episode. So, see, things are going to vary. Like, once we just kind of, like, get into the swing of things, I'm going to spend less time just yapping my mouth off, and we're going to spend more time playing. But, like, right now, we're kind of just learning things out, so I'm trying to explain and show you guys examples of stuff. One thing I want to show before we end is here's our log. So each moon, your cat has a chance of gathering things itself. So we got catmint, we got oak leaves, catmint, and elder leaves were gathered this moon. So that's good, which means also the amount of medicine cats you have maintains the maximum number of clanmates that medicine cat can look after. So the larger the clan, the more medicine cats you need. And that includes themselves. And if you only have one medicine cat and they get sick, you're kind of screwed because there's no one to treat the clan. Usually I just find another cat and I change them into a medicine cat until that cat's either healthy again, or if you have a sheep cat who's a medicine cat, they can get pregnant. So you'll want to have someone like take over. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say for this episode. So thank you all for watching. Please claw at that like button. Also, go ahead and claw at that subscribe button to join the Ranger Nation. And I will see you all in the next part of Clan Gen. See you then.